in with the flash of the blaze. It's all in the wrists if you want to get paid. Daddy sold beer at the Black Cat Lounge. He sold a little shine until the man came around. There's a little boy walking through a place like that, hitting bottle caps with a broomstick back. Skinny, cause there wasn't much of nothing to eat. Walking through the mud cause there wasn't any streets. This was Alabama, down the bay with the whole world looking off the other way. Henry Aaron, he was looking for a reason to dream in 47 when a black man signed with a big league team. Jim Crow smiling while the sun beat down on a sandlot field on the wrong side of town. Took it all in stride, striding to the ball. Turn of the wrist, crack, jog and touch 'em all. Jog and touch 'em all. 10 years later, still playing the game. Stands full of people screaming out his name. He wasn't bidding for the Braves with a 4-base knock the same day that they were rioting in Little Rock. Love it on Milwaukee, he was MVP. Back in Alabama, he was still not free to drink a beer in the white man's lounge, not free to have a meal in Mobile downtown. Young man rising through the hard, hot South, speaking his mind with a fat knot in his mouth, holding it inside, striding to the ball, turn of the wrist, crack, jog and touch 'em all. Jog and touch 'em all. Well, Hank Aaron kept on hitting home runs. It didn't matter the pitcher they put up there against him. Koufax, Drysdale, Marischal, Gibson, he hit him one, he hit him all for home runs. Home runs. The Braves, they moved from Milwaukee down to Atlanta, not far from the Alabama from which he had escaped. He kept on hitting home runs until there were people saying he wasn't hitting home runs at all so much as he was chasing a pinstripe ghost, dude by the name of Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was something else, y'all. He hit 714 home runs in the major leagues, giving him the all-time home run record. It was the greatest record in all of sports, it was. 714 home runs, and they weren't little piddly ones neither, they were mammoth. Moonshot home runs. He would whack that baseball, you know, stand there at home plate watching it go over the fence with his big old belly jiggling from the aftershock of the blast. See, Babe Ruth didn't do performance-enhancing drugs like some of those guys do these days, you know. Bonds, Clemens, you know. Sorry.
Good Ruth.
Red Sox. Babe Ruth did performance-restricting drugs like a lot of us are doing tonight. You know, wine, women, and song, that kind of stuff is what he did. Babe Ruth was loud, wild, and funny, and bright. Hank Aaron was none of that stuff. He just showed up and hit home runs. More than 30 of them every year. Every year. Sometimes people would cheer when he hit a home run, but then there were people who would boo. There were people who actually threatened to gun him down for being a good baseball player. Being arguably even a better baseball player than the great Babe Ruth. Challenging Babe's record of 714 home runs. Greatest record in all the sports. Challenge it. On April 8th, 1974, with Sneaky Snake rising in the country charts. Hank Aaron hit a baseball over the left field wall at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. The pitcher was Al Downing of the Dodgers. He was caught in the bullpen by a Braves relief pitcher named Tom House, who gave the ball back to Hank and didn't even make him pay. And I know this stuff because that was home run number 750. Gave Hank one more home run than the great Babe Ruth. It gave Hank the all-time home run record, the greatest record in all of sports. And he ran at first and second and third. mama changed as she had seemed, you know. She was from a little town called Down the Bay, near Mobile, Alabama. This Hank Aaron's mama with a tag around her neck that said, authorized field pass. And around Hank Aaron's mama, there were all these reporters, scurrilous reporters, and they were shouting questions at her. They were shouting, how does it feel? How does it feel to be the mother of the all-time home run king? And she kept shouting back, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. One time I was a little kid, I was in a beauty salon in Atlanta, Georgia. I was waiting on my grandmother while she got her hair did. And all these women in there, and they had what looked for all the world like flying saucers on their heads. Come to find out, last year, those were hair dryers. They were like 70s analog hair dryers, you know, on top of them women's heads. This one woman, they took the flying saucer off of her head, and she came over to where I was. I had this Brave shirt on, and she said, who's your favorite player? And I said, Pudge Rodriguez. No, Pudge Rodriguez was not in baseball existence by then. I said, Hank Aaron. I said, Hank Aaron. And that lady said to me, she said that it was too bad that he had gotten that home run record. She said that it didn't look like they were ever going to let us keep anything for ourselves. I didn't know that that lady and I had any part of that home run record, and I was confused as to how Hank Aaron had taken it from us. Anyway, I can't tell you that lady's name. Maybe she told it to me, I forgot it. Never saw no TV shows about her, or movies, magazine articles. Hank Aaron, though, he did pretty good for himself. Pretty good. But I do think that it bothered him. I think it kindly may have shocked him to find that the more truth and beauty he put out there into this world, the more lies and ugliness came right back at him. Maybe that's the way that it works sometimes. Maybe that's the way it works a lot of the time. Come to think of it, maybe that's the way it works. It's dice games and the flash of a blade. It's all of the rest if you want to get paid. Daddy sold beer, the Black Cat Lounge. He sold a little shine until the man came